How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Flicks and Pixels. I am Dave, and thank you so much for checking out today's video. Before I get started with what I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing today, I just wanted to say a huge thank you. I released a video a few weeks ago now where I announced that I'd hit 100 subscribers way before my target date of 31st of December this year. And it turns out that I've actually hit 200 subscribers now, which is absolutely fantastic. So a massive thank you to all of you out there. I really do appreciate it. So on to today's video then, and I was in two minds about whether I was going to buy this or not, if I'm honest. The reason why I did in the end is because I don't actually have this film on any kind of physical media form, believe it or not, as much as I like this film. So I thought I'd get it, go through it and kind of dissect it in a way and kind of give you guys my opinion and my thoughts on it. It's probably one of the most underrated zombie films around, in my opinion, but I'm sure there's people out there that don't like it at all. I'm sure there's some people that share my enthusiasm for it and think it's actually a pretty good film. So, as you probably gathered from the thumbnail, the film I'm talking about today, which I'll be doing an unboxing and a review of, is World War Z, starring Brad Pitt, released in 2013. Now, this film has been released on 4K previously. I think it was Screen Factory that did it last year. This is the first time that the 4K has actually been released in the UK. And if you're not familiar with the film, it is a typical zombie apocalypse film. You've got Brad Pitt's character, who is a specialist. He's been all over the world. He's a specialist investigator, and he gets called upon when this zombie apocalypse breaks out. And it's all about him leading a team of people to try and find a vaccine for this virus and hopefully put a stop to it altogether. It's got some great action set pieces. It probably loses its way a little bit after the first kind of half an hour, in terms of he's with his family for the first kind of half an hour of the film, and it's quite tense. But then ultimately he goes off on his own with the team, and it's still pretty good, but I think it loses that element of tension that it had in that first 30 minutes. And as I say, there's some great sequences in this film, especially with the zombies and the hordes, when they're all kind of coming together. And overall, I think it's a pretty decent zombie film. I think it gets a little bit of harsh criticism here or there, but I know it's got its fans as well. So what I'm going to do today, guys, is I'm going to take you through an unboxing of this collector's edition of World War Z, and then we're going to bring it back up top, and I am going to talk about the 4K transfer, but there's a couple of other things that I want to talk about regarding this edition, which I'm not too pleased about, to be honest, and I think in a way Paramount have actually dropped the ball a little bit, but we'll discuss that in just a little while. So onto the unboxing then. Are you ready? Come on, let's go and have a look. Okay, so here we go with World War Z on 4K, but before I go through this, I'll just bring the J card in. This is what comes attached to this collector's edition. At the front, you've got time is running out just there. You've got your 4K logo at the top. And then if we flip it over, you've got a little bit about the film. List of your special features just here. And then, of course, you've got your tech specs at the bottom. So if you want to have a pause of that and have a read, go ahead. And as always, when taking this off any edition, there's going to be glue dots. Just be really careful. Take them off as carefully as you can. You don't want to rip that outer box. Okay, so we'll pop that to one side for now. And then first impressions of this artwork. It's a bit underwhelming, if I'm honest. There's so much more they could have done with that than just literally stamping the title of the film on. But yeah, a little bit disappointed in that, to be honest. A bit boring. Yeah. Bring it up to the top, nothing on there. Down to the bottom, nothing there. Round to the spine, again you've got World War Z. Got your Paramount Scares logo just here. Bring it round to the back. And then that's a little bit better, I guess. You've got the horde of zombies just going for that chopper. Yeah, really underwhelming though. And then obviously on this side you've got your contents. So let's just take these out. Pop them to one side. What I will say is, it is a nice rigid hard case, which is always good, but boring. And then we'll bring in the little extras that you get. So they come in a wallet. You've got V139 written there, and then you've got a bloody handprint. Flip it over. Caution, biological hazard. And then you've got World War Z at the bottom. And much like the ring, kind of opens up on the top. And then from the sides and the bottom as well. So let's just take all of these out. Pop that to one side for now. So the first thing you get is an iron-on patch with a Z on. A bit different, I guess. So if you want to put that on a t-shirt, hoodie, jacket, whatever, you can do. Put that to one side. You also get a poster. And this is a poster of the note that Brad Pitt writes, "Tell my family I love them." And then on the reverse of that, you've got the World War Z title. Not too bad at all. And then you also get "Welcome to Philadelphia" sign. Got cardboard, thin cardboard on the back. You've got the reverse of that sign, and then World War Z just there. You get some stickers. So you've got MJ Mart Supermarket, and then you've got the Biohazard Wear Protective Clothing sticker, the live virus at the top. And then you also get some postcards as well, so we'll open these up. Put that to one side. And then you've got Brad Pitt. That's near the beginning of the film when he's trying to escape the city with his family. You've got one of the Marines that he comes across early on in the film. These are quite good quality cards, I must say. They're not a gloss finish, they're more of a matte finish. They're not too bad, they're decent quality. And then on the back, they're all the same. They all say World War Z. Pop those to one side. You also get a mini theatrical poster. That was the original artwork from when it was first released back in 2013. Again, good quality. Then you get another poster as well. This one is a little bit bigger. Try and get it all into shot if I can. That is some alternative artwork for the film there. Quite like that poster actually, it's quite nice. I've got Brad Pitt and his family, and then you've got just absolute mayhem going on in the background. But again, nice quality poster, not too flimsy at all. And then last but not least, we have the 4K disc itself. You've got Brad Pitt on the front, you've got the title World War Z. And then on the spine, again, the title of the film. Bring it round to the back, and much like the J card, you've got a write-up of the film, a list of your special features, and your text specs at the bottom as well. So if we open this up, you are greeted with your 4K disc, and then if you flip that over, you do have your Blu-ray disc as well. So let's do a little recap then. So we have the 4K. You also get the Welcome to Philadelphia sign. You get the poster that he writes in the film of the note. You also get your postcards as well. You get your mini theatrical poster and your bigger alternative artwork poster there. You get your stickers. You get an iron-on Z patch as well. And you also get your very underwhelming and rather boring rigid hard case that holds it all together. So that was World War Z on 4K in a collector's edition. Let's go back up top and let's talk about it. Okay, so we are back up top with World War Z on 4K in a very underwhelming collector's edition, in my opinion. I don't know what they're doing with this artwork. I mean, it's just boring. It's just boring. There's so many other pictures that they could have picked. So many other different pieces of artwork they could have picked to put on this. I mean, the posters inside here, there's some great shots on there. Why didn't they use something like that on here? I don't quite get it. It's just boring. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, I'm quite underwhelmed with it, if I'm honest. But in terms of the film itself, I said earlier on that I thought it was quite good, quite underrated. The 4K picture looks fantastic. I'm going to say straight away, I was really impressed with what they've done with this on the 4K format, and it's a lot better than the Blu-ray in terms of picture quality, in terms of level of details. The HDR and the Dolby Vision add some real punch. There is a particular scene in this near the beginning, actually, where Brad Pitt is he's going through this tower block with his family, and the only lighting that they've got is a flare that his wife has. The Dolby Vision and HDR really come into their own in those scenes. It just looks fantastic, creates a real great sense of atmosphere, and the light of that flare, it looks absolutely fantastic. The whole film looks really good, as I say. Close-up shots, the detail on those are excellent. Distant shots look exceptional, especially the sort of set pieces when the helicopter's flying. You've kind of got the sun setting. That's where the HDR and the Dolby Vision really come into their own in terms of the 4K picture. There's a couple of very minor soft shots in there, but nothing to really sort of great significance, to be honest. But the issue that I have with this is that they've released it on 4K, but they've only released a theatrical version on 4K, which is really disappointing. And as I said earlier on, I think Paramount have really dropped the ball with this. It's kind of like, I don't know why they've done that. If you're going to release a collector's edition of a film like this, you at least need to put both versions on 4K, in my opinion. And the extended cut of World War Z is probably the better version of the film. So I'm quite confused as to why they've done it. Is it to cut costs? Did they not want to invest as much in this film, releasing it on physical media for 4K? I'm not quite sure, to be honest, but it's a real letdown because, as I say, the extended cut is the better version of the film, and you do get the extended cut on the Blu-ray in this, but the Blu-ray in this is it's a repress of the Blu-ray that was released 10 years ago. It doesn't look the greatest, I've got to be honest. It doesn't look terrible. It looks okay, but it does look very soft, and it does lack a considerable amount of atmosphere when you compare it to what they've done to the 4K. So I'm a little bit underwhelmed with the edition itself, and with the fact that they haven't put that extended cut on 4K. I don't understand. I don't understand why they've done that, and they're charging 35 quid for it, which I think is a little bit steep, to be honest. If they'd have released the main film, the theatrical cut and the extended cut on 4K and included the Blu-ray, maybe 35 quid, you could probably argue was okay value for money, especially with everything else that you get in there as well. But to release the inferior version of the film, and again, it's just my opinion, I think the extended cut's better. Some people out there might prefer the theatrical. I don't think there's too many that do, but if you do, leave a comment, let me know, do you prefer the theatrical or the extended? But I just think that the fact that they haven't included the extended version on 4K is a huge missed opportunity. And if you've got the Blu-ray of this already, there's a good chance you probably watch the extended cut when you do watch this film and you don't bother with the theatrical cut. I can't recommend this as an upgrade if that's the case, because you're not getting anything different if you're going to watch the extended cut. It is a repress of that Blu-ray that you've already got. If you're a huge fan of the theatrical version and you want it in the best quality possible, then by all means pick up this edition, or wait for a standard version. There's bound to be a standard edition of this being released. I wouldn't spend 35 quid getting this just for the theatrical version on 4K, but that's just my opinion, because The 4K looks really good. It does look really good. It's a huge upgrade from the Blu-ray, which is what's so frustrating about this. I don't know what Paramount are playing at. I really don't. Like, sometimes they'll knock it out of the park with their releases, and it's fantastic. But there's other times where they're just lazy, like this one. There's no kind of consistency or continuity, and it's really frustrating. So if you have got the Blu-ray of this already and you prefer the extended cut of this film, you might as well keep that. I wouldn't upgrade to this unless you absolutely want the theatrical on 4K. Yeah, just keep hold of your Blu-ray. But again, that is just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think about it. As I say, do you prefer the theatrical version? Do you prefer the extended cut? Are you as disappointed as I am that the extended cut isn't on 4K in this edition? It's just, yeah, underwhelming and very disappointing overall. So that is all for today, guys. Thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it. If you did like the video today, please give it a thumbs up. It does mean a lot to me. And if you would consider subscribing to the channel as well, that would also mean a lot as well. So hopefully I will see you again on my next video. Until then, take care.